Hi everyone, it's Lynn from Hey Lynn Vintage and welcome to another Retro Cooking Wednesday. If you're new here, welcome. I hope that you like this content, and if you do like this content, that you will consider subscribing to my channel. And if you've been here a while, thank you guys so much for the support. I really do appreciate it. But today we are making Ring-A-Lings by Bertha Jorgensen. She was from Portland, Oregon. So this is our 1955 contest number 7 of our Pillsbury Bake-Off. So let's get to that ingredient table and bake some my Ring-A-Ling, my Ring-A-Ling. Let's get to that ingredient table. So ingredients for our Ring-A-Lings is going to be 4 to 4.5 cups of flour. You know, they want to make sure that it's the right consistency. So I have a half a cup sitting over here. This is 4 cups here. 2 teaspoons of salt. 2 teaspoons of orange peel. I got a microplaner. We're going to plane 2 teaspoons of that off. 2 packages of yeast. 1/3 of a cup of sugar. A cup of milk. 1/3 of a cup of softened butter. And 2 eggs. We will also be making a filling with like hazelnuts and powdered sugar. We'll go over that. And then a glaze to go on the top. But right now, let's get our dough started. So in here, I put 2 cups of flour. We're going to add our 1/3 cup of sugar, our 2 teaspoons of salt, our 2 teaspoons of our orange peel. I just took my orange. You want to make sure that you don't put like the white pith on there. So I just had the zester that I got 2 teaspoons of orange peel. We're just going to put that in there as well. And our yeast. We are going to put our yeast in there. Let me open those. All right. And we're going to add our yeast to this. We are going to just mix this really well. And then we will add our warm liquid and our eggs. So let's get that liquid warmed up. So in here we have our 1 cup of milk. We're going to add our 1/3 of a cup of butter. We want to get this to come to like 120 degrees to activate our yeast. So I just have an instant read thermometer. We're just going to, you know, put this in here until, see how cold that butter is. Until this comes to that. We don't want to have it boiling because we don't want to kill our yeast. We just want this water to be very warm. All right, so I've got all of the flour, like we had discussed, the sugar, the salt, the orange peel, and the yeast in here. I'm going to add that cup of milk and butter that we melted. So we're just going to add that right in. We're just going to add that right in there. And then we're going to add our 2 eggs right into this. We're going to mix this a little bit, and then we're going to add more of the flour. So we're just going to add some more of the flour, the other 2 cups at least. We just want to do that until we form a stiff dough ball. We're almost there. Let's see how that is. I think a little bit more, and then we're going to put it into a greased bowl. So let's scrape this all down and we'll put it in a greased bowl. All right, we've got our dough made. I've just greased this bowl. It said to put wax paper on the top. So I just have some parchment we're going to lay on top of this with a towel. And then we will come back in like 30 minutes to 50 minutes and make sure it's doubled. So the filling is a cup of, you could use hazelnuts, pecans, walnuts. I have some hazelnuts here. A cup of powdered sugar and 1/3 of a cup of softened margarine. That's where the softened butter was here. Because they want the nuts ground, I might just try and mix this right in my food processor, just so that I can get it all ground up. Let's see how that works out. All right, so we've let our dough rise. We need to roll this into 12 inches by 21 inches. So let's get started on rolling this into a square. All right, so we got 21 by 12. We are going to spread our filling like on half of this and then fold it in half. So this was the, I did use my food processor to process this. It's just that 1 cup of hazelnuts and the 1/3 cup of butter and a cup of confectionary's powdered sugar. So we're just going to spread this like all across that whole bottom side of this dough and then fold that across. So we're just going to fold this right over top of this. Get it all even. All right, so we're cutting these into 1-inch strips. I just kind of like measured them, and we are just gonna cut these into our 1-inch strips. All of them. 22. So we're supposed to just kind of like press that down and then wrap this around like a couple times, like 4 to 5 times. So I've been kind of like stretching it to get it, so that they look nice and rolled. That's what we're going to do. Okay, these are wrapped. We're going to let these now rise again for another like half hour, 50 minutes. So they weren't looking right to me. So what you need to do is you need to twist them like this and then wrap it around and tuck that under. They look so much better. Let's get them baked. Okay, so these were baked at 375 for 9, well, I put them in for like 12 minutes. And then we're going to put our glaze, that 3 tablespoons of sugar, the 1/4 cup of, I had a blood orange, so that's why it's kind of red. Hey, and it's Valentine's Day, so why not? And we are just going to glaze them with this and then put them back in the oven for another 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, my thoughts on Mrs. Jorgensen's Ring-A-Lings. You know what, you guys? Like I said before, these recipes continue to get better and better each time we go along. And something about in the 50s that they used that little bit of orange flavor to them. While it was a little bit of a process, but how often do you make like Danish for your family? It was really good. A little bit time consuming, but again, very, very good. Loved the orange. They're not really sweet at all. So yeah, make them. And next week we are doing California casserole. We are getting out of a dessert. So that should be interesting. So we'll have a casserole next week. And with that being said, this is Lynn from Halen Vintage. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys so much for helping my channel grow. With that being said, stay retro, my friends. See you next week. Bye.